Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 7 English lesson on context clues. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. We're doing grade 7. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of context clues. All right. So our chapter is context clues. Our subject is English Language Arts. We're doing grade 7. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of context clues is to determine the meaning of words using synonyms in context. We're going to find words using context, and we're also going to use context to identify the meaning of a word. All right. So when it comes to context clues, right? When you encounter unfamiliar words, and there's always going to be a time where you encounter unfamiliar words. So when you encounter unfamiliar words, then you can maybe use synonyms as context clues to help determine the words' meaning, right? So if you maybe find a word that you don't understand or word that you haven't seen, try to find the synonym of that word in order for you to kind of understand, let's say, what the sentence is about, or to give you more an idea of what, let's say, the or what the word probably actually would mean. So once again, so basically, if you don't understand a word or you don't know the meaning of the word, just look at the context clues. Look somewhere in your text, you will find a word that will basically be more familiar, if that's the word, and that will give you a better understanding of what the context of the sentence or what the context of the essay or what the context of the story is all about. It is like nearby words or phrases that help you to figure out the meaning of an unknown word that you don't know. So that is context clues. So once again, when you encounter unfamiliar words, you can use the synonyms as context clues to help determine the words' meanings. But how do you even know how do you even know, for example, the synonym of a word? If you don't know the synonym by heart, if there's no synonym in the text, then of course, thesaurus. A thesaurus is a book, almost like a dictionary, that gives you the meaning of a word, but it gives you the synonyms of that specific words. So let's say, for example, you have a word, but you don't know what that word really means. And you will always find that. You will find a word that maybe seems too big, and even with a meaning, you still don't know the word. Go to a thesaurus that will give you synonyms of that word, and then one of that words you will probably understand, or it will give you an idea of what the text, what the story, or what let's say what the phrase might be. All right. And if we look at the synonyms, or if we look at synonyms, right? Firstly, synonyms are words with the same meaning. So it's words with the same meaning, or it's words with almost or nearly the same meaning. So it's words with the same meaning or almost the same meaning. That is synonyms. So it doesn't have to directly be the same meaning, it can be words with similar meaning. All right. And if we look at an example, right? If we look at an example, it says Jessica's buoyant personality is infectious. So Jessica's buoyant personality is infectious. And if we look at that word, specifically buoyant, right? Because buoyant is a word that seems big. So now, if you don't know what buoyant means, right? If we look at the next sentence, it says, whenever we spend time together, I end up in a cheerful mood too. So here they, for example, say the first sentence is Jessica's buoyant personality is infectious. So whenever we spend time together, I end up in a cheerful mood too. So do you see these two sentences are basically together because it's somebody that is saying this. She's got a buoyant personality. So I end up also being cheerful. So even if you don't know what buoyant means, but now you'll know that the synonym, the word either with the same meaning or almost the same meaning as buoyant, is cheerful. Or let's say the synonym of cheerful can help you to figure out that buoyant also means either to be happy or to be upbeat, to be joyful. That is what it means. So you can then look at the context of what the person says. Maybe the next sentence or the sentence thereafter will basically tell you, or they'll counter that word, and you'll be able to pick up what the synonym of a specific word is. All right. And we said that if you don't know the meaning of a word, just look at the context clues like we have over here. That context clues of cheerful, personality, it is infectious. I'm in a cheerful mood too, meaning excitement, upbeat, happy. And if you use the word infectious, why would I then not use the word infectious if it is not something exciting or happy? Because I don't want somebody's bad moods to be infectious, right? You'd want the excitement, the upbeat feeling, the happiness to be infectious, not the bad, sad, and gloomy um personality, rude personality that gives attitude, for example. So context clues, it is nearby words and phrases that help you to figure out the meaning of an unknown word, words that you don't know. And here we're going to look at a few examples, right, of words with context clues, or let's say sentences with context clues. It says Maureen asked for is it expedited or expedited? Maureen asked for expedited service for her passport so that she'd have it in time for her trip. And if we look at that word expedited or expedited, it's actually expedited. So Marine asked for expedited services for her passport so that she'd have it in time for her trip. And if we look at that word expedited or expedited, depending on how you want to say it, expedited, so we can then guess that this word expedited means hurried, something to speed up the process. Because she needs her passport basically ASAP before her trip. All right. If you look at the next one, it says at the city council meeting, Mr. Harrington lambasted the mayor for refusing to address the city's traffic problem. Lambasted. And that word lambasted, right? We can guess that lambasted means he either criticized because he was angry, verbally attacked the city's traffic official or the at the council meeting or the mayor specifically because of the city's traffic problem, meaning that nothing is being done. The traffic is still hectic. Back to back traffic, accidents still on our roads, potholes, the roads are not roadworthy, those type of things. So he basically criticized or verbally attacked the mayor for not wanting to address the city's traffic problem. All right. Nobody understood why Corey decided to move to France. So nobody understood why Corey decided to move to France. His decision to go there seemed completely arbitrary. And if we look at that word arbitrary, right, you can guess that that word means random. Like he just made a random decision to just move to France. Like we don't even understand why, but he made that random decision to move. All right. So basically, if we now just sum up literally everything about context clues, we see that context clues, right? It is unfamiliar words. It's unfamiliar words within a text that you maybe don't understand. So if you don't understand context clues, then you can use a synonym, a word that means the same as that word, as context clues to help you to determine the word's meaning. And if you don't know the word's meaning, just look at the next sentence, look at the next context clue that will give you an idea of what you think that word means, especially here where we said Jessica's buoyant personality is infectious. Whenever we spend time together, I end up in a cheerful mood too. That is already a context clue on its own that basically gives us an idea of what buoyant means. It gives us a synonym of buoyant. It is nearby words and phrases that will help you to figure out the meaning of an unknown word, the meaning of a word that you might not understand, the meaning of a word that is so unfamiliar that you maybe feel like you haven't seen before. You can even look at the sentence, right? How is the sentence phrased in order for you to understand what the sentence is about? The same like we said here, Maureen asked for expedited service for her passport so that she'd have it in time for her trip. If you want something in time for your trip, and now you have this word expedited, like what does expedited even mean? Then you know if I need to have something in time for my trip, then clearly it means that I need it chop chop. It needs to be hurried, it needs to be sped up. We need to speed up this process because I need it before I leave next week for my trip, for example. All right. So just try to familiarize yourself with the word, with the sentences. And if you still don't, then try to use the synonyms as context clues to help determine the meaning of those words. Because those context clues are the nearby words. It's words within that sentence. It's words where you now need to really understand what you are reading within that phrase in order to help you to figure out the meaning of the words. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to determine the meaning of words using synonyms in context. Oops, not this one. All right, here it says we're going to look at, we already went over the explanation of when you encounter unfamiliar words, you can use synonyms as context clues to help determine the word's meaning. And synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meaning. And we made an example of Jessica's buoyant personality is infectious. Whenever we spend time together, I end up in a cheerful mood. Cheerful, buoyant, happy, upbeat, exciting. That is what it means. Now it says, we need to say what is the meaning of the word disperse as used in the passage that we're going to read. It says seedlings often grow best at a distance from the parent plant, where they can avoid competition for nutrients. As a result, plants have evolved different strategies to disperse seeds away from the parent. One such strategy is to use the wind to scatter the seeds to new locations. So when you encounter new locations, just so, right? And if we now look at that sentence, right? Seedlings often grow best at a distance from from their parent plant, where they can avoid competition for nutrients. As a result, plants evolve different strategies to disperse seeds away from the parent. One such strategy is to use the wind to scatter the seeds to new locations. If you look at this word disperse and you look at the whole passage, what do you think the meaning of disperse would mean? What do you think the meaning of disperse would mean? And if we were to identify what the word disperse would mean, then it would be, remember they say it scatters the seeds to new location, which means that disperse is then to send something into different locations or different directions, right? All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to determine the meaning of words using synonyms in context. We now need to select the synonym that helps you to understand the meaning of the word discern. We need to help understand the meaning of discern. It says, as the sun began to set, the island castaway was barely able to discern a ship on the horizon. Did that mean that someone on board the ship might be able to notice him too? He jumped to his feet and frantically waved his arms, yelling, over here, over here. So discern, sorry, does it mean to notice or jumped? Option one, noticed or jumped. What does discern mean? Noticed or jump? So discern, what does it mean? Does it mean to notice? Option one, or jumped? Option two. Discern. And if we were to select the synonym that helps you to understand the meaning of the word discern, right? And then we can say it is notice. So notice is our answer. The synonym of discern. We need to say what is the meaning of the word discern as used in the passage. So here we have another word discern, but we need to say what the meaning of the word discern is within this in the passage. As the sun began to set, the island castaway was barely able to discern a ship on the horizon. Did that mean that someone on board the ship might be able to noticed him too. He jumped to his feet and frantically waved his arms, yelling, "Over here, over here." Discern. What is the meaning of discern? Is it to reach, option one, or to detect, option two? So, option one, reach. Discern. Is it to reach or to detect? All right. And if we were to select the meaning of the word discern, then we can say it is to detect. Because if you notice something, that is to detect something. To notice something is to detect something. So well done. Detect is correct. Well done. All right. Now we need to select a synonym that helps you understand the meaning of the word inherent. Inherent. It says, under normal conditions, the skin has the inherent ability to heal itself. In the case of extremely serious wounds, however, the skin cells may not be able to regenerate properly. In these cases, a skin graft can serve as a scaffold to which the patient's skin cells attach, encouraging the skin's fundamental capabilities. So now, inherent, is it fundamental or is it encouraging? Inherent. The skin has the inherent ability to heal itself. Is it fundamental or is it capable? Encouraging. Sorry, inherent. And if we were to select the synonym of the word inherent, then we'll choose fundamental. It has the fundamental capability. All right. So now we need to find the meaning of the word inherent. So we already said fundamental is the synonym of inherent, but now what is the meaning of inherent as used in the passage? It says, under normal conditions, the skin has the inherent ability to heal itself. In the case of extremely serious wounds, however, the skin cells may not be able to regenerate properly. In these cases, A skin graft can serve as a scaffold to which the patient's skin cells attach, encouraging the skin's fundamental capabilities. We need to say what is the meaning of the word inherent as used in the passage. Is it unexplainable or mysterious, or relating to something's essential nature? Unexplainable or mysterious, or relating to something's essential nature. Inherit. All right. And if we were to select the synonym of the word inherent, then we'll choose option two, relating to something's essential nature. If we look at the next one, it says, what is the meaning of the word nuanced or nuanced as used in the passage? We need to see what is the meaning of the word nuance as used in the passage. It says, French artist Claude Monet is known for the nuanced use or color in his paintings. This skill is evident in his famous Rouen Cathedral series, in which he was able to capture in paint the subtle changes in light playing against the cathedral at different times of day. So if we look at the meaning of the word nuance, is it disguised or hidden from sight, or characterized by small variations? Nuanced, nuanced. The meaning of nuanced. Option one, disguised or hidden from sight, or characterized by small variations. And if we were to choose the correct option, we can say the meaning of nuance, it is characterized by small variations. All right. So now we're going to find words using the context, all right? And we already went over examples of context clues where we said that if you don't know the meaning of a word, you can look for context clues within the sentence. And context clues are nearby words or phrases that help you to figure out the meaning of an unknown word. So we need to select the word that means to do something special to honor and remember. It says the Chinese festival of King Ming takes place on the 15th day after the spring equinox. On this day, people burn paper, which is like spirit, which we call spirit money, and models of houses and cars to commemorate the dead. Their hope is to make their departed relatives more comfortable in the spirit world. So, what is the word that means to do something special to honor and remember? Is it to commemorate or relatives? Which one is correct? And if we were to select the word that means to do something special to honor and remember, so if you want to do something special to honor and remember somebody, then we say it is to commemorate. It's like you commemorate the person, commemorate the day, commemorate something. Whose relatives is like your family and so on. So commemorate. Well done. We now need to select the word that means the basic framework or system of public works. It says civil engineers design infrastructure, projects such as roads, dams, tunnels, and bridges. This is not a new field. The buildings of the ancient pyramids also used engineering concepts. However, the tools available to civil engineers today, such as computer aided design programs, have improved the speed and accuracy of the work. So, we now need to select the word that means the basic framework or system of public works. Is that infrastructure or is it accuracy? Infrastructure or accuracy. So the basic framework system what so the basic or the meaning of the basic framework or system of public works is the infrastructure. It's like your roads and your dams and your tunnels and your bridges, right? All right. So this is now the end of our lesson on context clues. We will continue next time on using context to identify the meaning of a word. But we said context clues are where you find a word within, or a word or a phrase, or words or phrases within a sentence, right? That basically means the same thing as a word that you are maybe unfamiliar with. If you're unfamiliar with the word, you can either find the synonym or another word that will kind of give you an idea of what the word or the sentence or the meaning is about. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on context clues. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I really hope you're going to have a good evening further. So, till next time, goodbye.